a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest Fenn. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien.
Now, when you're searching for Forrest Fenn's treasure, one thing, a lot of people try and figure out the clues. And then there's some people that want to eliminate possibilities. That possibility that you eliminate is probably the one thing that you needed to find it. So be careful what you write off as, this doesn't matter type of thing, because most everything, there's a lot of things in the book that he talks about that people don't see. They don't recognize him talking about belly-high grass in Vietnam and how that tombstone could be hidden in that tall grass and things like that. Well, the wood is something that you see from an airplane when you're looking down. The meadows write the word wood through the forest. There is no wood in the wood. The wood is actually belly-high grass that he's referring to Vietnam. And the belly-high grass where he found the tombstone, he holds up the tombstone, boom. That's where the belly-high grass was. And that's in the meadow, and that's Bravin' in the Wood. And all that Bravin' in the Wood is Skippy's car. They lassoed the buffalo and crashed in the creek and had to walk home without shoes, soaking wet, in the cold. But they didn't realize how much fun it was until much later. So it was worth the cold to lasso the buffalo and have all that fun. It was worth the cold if you were brave enough to lasso a damn buffalo and go for a ride. That's what he's talking about. Okay? But I already took Skippy's car. It's not there in the meadow anymore. You're not going to find that cowl sitting in the wood anymore. It was in the D of wood. That's where it was. And the OOD of wood is also, if you tilt it 90 degrees, it's a rabbit. Harvey, the rabbit. These are subtle hints. Fred Harvey, the beads in the bracelet came from Fred Harvey. Harvey Hotels. Harvey the rabbit was a theme character of Harvey Hotels. Eventually, so or at some point they've adopted Harvey the rabbit as a mascot. So those are subtle hints. Also subtle hints. He talks about at the very last paragraph of the book. He talks about the end of his life, and he's going to meet up with all his past memories, and his friends are all going to be at this banquet table at the end of his life. Well, these things in the monument I found, him holding the tombstone, in the arm of the monument is carved a whole bunch. There's about 20 people carved in that arm. There's a couple of skeletons leaning up against his arrowhead that's below the tombstone. His arrowhead is there in the thing. And people are trying to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. They're idiots. I'll tell you that. They are idiots. They don't know what they are talking about. This site is definitely Forrest Fenn's site. he says about the sculptors. Don't you think that man that sculpted or carved that thing is proud of himself? He's talking about himself in his own, this monument he's created. It's a monument to people left buried out in foreign lands or something. Buried, soldiers that are died in a foreign conflict, and their graves are lost over there in Vietnam and Laos and whatever. They're lost over there. Nobody knows where their graves are. So this is kind of his monument to that. But anyhow, so here he's got Vietnam represented in Colorado. He's also got the wood represent the Model A, the cowl is represented here in Colorado. His ZPU gun is also represented here in Colorado in the W of wood, and the Skippy's helicopter that flew apart is there in the W of wood also. It's in the wood, and the wood is when you go from the blaze and you follow the creek from the blaze, it ends at another creek at the wood. Right there, right at the W of the wood, where the wood starts. But see, there isn't just the wood. You got to go a little further than the wood, and you look down, and you see, when you're looking from an airplane, you look down at the earth, and you see the dove and the crescent moon. And so these things are just follow along the creek, in the canyon. And you got to follow that canyon down, and you got to recognize the signs. If you don't recognize the signs, you're never going to find the treasure. Your imagination, what you imagine you see in those rocks formations, are what he's talking about when imagination is better than knowledge. If you can't imagine, that this is, aha, I can put this together. Here is his totem. He worked at the Totem Cafe. Boom. Okay. There's an arm coming down and holding the tablet. There's an arm coming over and across and holding that tablet. Boom. That's in his drawing on page 95. Just below the tablet is a giant arrowhead, and below the arrowhead is a big marble like this. It's big enough to hold the treasure. It's right, but it wasn't in there. But there's 3 marbles in the drawing, so I'm looking for the other 2 marbles. I think these marbles are somewhat. I found one of the marbles. I got to find the other marbles, and I got some other possibilities. I've been looking at my pictures, and that's one thing. You got to take pictures of everything, because a lot of this stuff you don't see it when you're there, but when you look at your pictures, you stay up late at night and look at them. When your mind starts getting tired and it starts seeing things that are actually carved in the rock. They're intentional, they're there, but you don't see them when you're just looking at the rock without a camera. So, and the subtle clues are in the book. They're in the stories. That each of his stories are represented at this site. I mean, the subtle hint, he took a .50 caliber to the nose of his plane. Okay, well, he couldn't see that, so he didn't know that. But the cowl, the Model A cowl that I found, has a big old hole in it. It was made from a smaller bullet, maybe a .38 or something. But the exit hole looks like a .50 caliber hole. It's huge. It's that thing's over 1 inch across. It's a big hole next. It's a third of the size of the gas cap hole. So it's a big hole. But if you look at my pictures, you'll see it. But and if you're looking for the fanatics, when you search Google, if you don't put those 2 omegas, replace the N's with omegas, you're not going to find it in your search results. Hi there, this is Bill Gorman, and welcome to A Leprechaun's Fart. You know what I'm talking about. Gypsy's kiss ain't going to get you very far. But at least a leprechaun, he might fart gold nuggets.